Okay, so we're going live again. Let me just make sure everything is working correctly. Um, I believe it is. Yeah, okay. So everything is working. Yeah, so, let me just check one thing here quickly. Just adjusting my monitor here to make sure I got everything optimal and everything looks good. So, yeah, so I know I haven't been on in a while, and that's because I've been busy with a lot of client projects, so I had to get those done. But I've been getting a lot of stuff completed, so I'm definitely gonna continue this. And yeah, so we're gonna still this project is still gonna get finished. Just had to find some time, and yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna resume this. So if you remember from the last project, at the end, I actually was having a lot of trouble. Like when I rendered it, what was going on is, let's say we go to view camera, and what happened is I was pressing render, and in this view it was working properly, but when I went to say just render here, and I'll actually let this render complete. It shouldn't take too long. But what was going on is the render was actually looking different. But I actually got that completed, and the only thing I had to do, and I did this all off stream because it took a while to figure it out. I had to just click these items and then make sure all the modifiers were the same as for the render as they were for the viewport. So that was the main issue that I fixed. So yeah, I got that all fixed. And we'll just let this render out. So let's go to view render and just see how this looks. And it looks pretty good, but you'll notice when it composites that things look like 10 times better. So we'll just let that kind of go through. And it's got probably about another minute left. And if you notice, I did change it to blue. And I'm not really sure what color I want to go with this. Maybe I'll listen to if you guys have suggestions. It could either be orange or blue. Let me make sure that I have the chat enabled. Let's see, how do I do that again? Oh, here we go. Okay, so live chat is enabled. Alright. That's good. Okay, so this is almost done. And this is going to be reacting to the music that I put in. And today we're going to be adding some of the sound objects to make the sound, and just going to be progressing with some things I could add to this, like camera animation. Okay, so that finished rendering. Now if I go to viewer node, which is the one with the compositor setup, you see it looks a lot better. And keep in mind, what's interesting is all this depth of field is actually done with nodes themselves. None of this is done with real depth of field. So it's a really good fake depth of field effect, and you don't add noise to your render, basically, and it goes much faster than adding real depth of field, and it looks really good too. So I could just go to the compositor setup, and you see that I got a bunch of nodes set up, and the way I create the depth of field is actually pretty simple. Basically what I did is I got I'm using the Z pass, which is here, the depth pass, which shows how far something is, and the black colors are where that things are closer to the screen, I mean to the camera, and where it's white is where it's further. And I use that ramp as a factor so that where it's white, the blur would be applied more strongly because that's where things are farther away. So I use that to define the size of the blur, and that is how I applied the fake depth of field effect. Yeah, and I applied, of course, a bunch of other glare effects, and I did cover this in my last video. I believe the sound may have cut out. I'm not sure in the last one. So if my audio cuts out, just let me know, because something's been happening with my audio lately. I'm not really sure what it is. Probably gonna get a new microphone. But if I disable this blur, like you'll see, it doesn't look as good. So yeah, you could just see how much this is adding to it. But yeah, so we gotta work on the camera animation and the sound. And before I do anything, I'm actually want to go into lmms, and I actually forget which song we use for this. I gotta find it. So I'm gonna open up lmms, and let's just scale this up to be the right size. Since I'm on a widescreen monitor here, so I have to constantly scale windows to kind of fill it up. There we go. And I believe it was song number 2? I don't believe it was. I'll know after listening to it. Let's see. Almost there. Okay. No, it wasn't. I already know from just looking at it. Okay, that's not the right one. Song number. Could this have been it? This might have been it. I think this is the one. Sound's not working, but I got it saved on my desktop. So let's go to there and just see. I think it's this one. Oh no, I'm sorry. Is this it? No, it's not. Yes, this is it. I don't think you guys can actually hear this. Let's see, can you guys hear that? I just want to make sure my audio is coming through. Seems like that I'm looking at my mic monitor, and it seems like the song audio is not actually going through for some reason. Maybe I gotta adjust. Not sure, that's weird. Oh, I see what it is. It's the audio device. Alright, now I think it's coming through. I see it on the graph, so it should be working now. Okay. Alright, I'm assuming the audio is working now, and you guys can probably hear the song. It looks like it's working correctly. So, yeah, it's song number 2. So we're gonna actually import this now into Blender. So let's go ahead and do that. I don't need this, so I'm gonna exit out. And we'll go back into Blender. And let's go ahead and do that. I don't need this, so I'm gonna exit out. And we'll go back into Blender. And okay, am I getting in? I'm getting an echo. Oh, I got the video playing on my other monitor here. That was the problem. Alright, it should be fixed now. Alright, so yeah, let's add in a speaker object. So this is a unique object, probably not many people know about, but there is actually a speaker object, and it's not really used often, but I think it should be more because it's very helpful. So this could be like scaled up, and let's just put that over like this. And what you could do is go to this and then open up a track, and we got the gotta find it. So desktop, and then beat number 2, I believe is the one. And it should play now. And let's see if it matches up. And watch this. If I move, where's the camera? Right here. If I move the speaker, let's go back. It gets louder as I move it near the camera. Okay, so it doesn't seem like it's synced up properly. To be honest, this doesn't really matter for this clip because I'm going to be doing the audio with separate programs. I'm not going to be using the speaker object, but to get kind of a feel of it in the viewport, it would be nice if we got this to kind of work at least decently. So I'll just put it right next to the camera. Let's see, I know there's a way to bake the audio. I gotta just find that option. Let's see. That's weird. This menu's here. Okay, now it should go to the left. There we go. So I just gotta find the bake audio menu because that's actually very important. Now I'm not sure where it is. Let me look that up. I know there's a way to get the speaker object to work better. Not really sure. Let's see what I could do. So if I click on this, I got these options. Does this go above 1? No. Audio, update, there it is. It's this setting, update animation cache. That is very important, otherwise your audio will be very choppy, so that should fix that. Let's listen to it. Okay, and it's not matching up, or is it? No, it's not. I'm not sure why. Let's go to the speaker object and see if we could go to the animation editor here, so graph. And if we can't get the speaker object to work, it's not a big deal because I can always add the sound in another program, which is what I'm going to do, but it would be nice to have it for real-time kind of preview. So we got NLA. Yeah, this is it. That's weird. Why is it so short? Let's go to our sound again, actually. It's much longer, but if I import it, I'm going to do that again, so I'm going to delete this and go back to our speaker and delete that. Try it again. Cache the sound in memory. That is strange. It's showing the soundtrack, but it's not bringing it in. I'm not sure what's causing this. It would be nice if we could get this to work. I'm going to try this one more time. If I can, it's no big deal. Let's see, where is it? The speaker object. There it is. Bring it in. Beat number 2. And yeah, it's definitely coming out really short. Is it because of my frames? Maybe that could be what's doing this. Doesn't seem like it. Oh, and it actually is going longer. Maybe it's just going to be brought back to the beginning so that it kind of syncs up. Ah, there we go. Alright. Is it seeming like that it's... Oh yeah, it is matching the beat. Awesome. Boom, boom, boom. Yep, it's actually moving with the beat now. Incredible. Alright. That's nice. Let's go to Eevee and see how this looks. Alright, so this is working. That's definitely exciting. Look at that. It's actually blinking with... Oh, okay, it is choppy. Let's try it again. Wow, awesome. Alright, so this is working perfectly. I don't know if you guys could hear this audio, but this is incredible. Alright. I didn't think it would work that great. Wow. Alright, let's go to camera. Let's really make sure that this is optimal now. And let's try it again. Okay, and obviously it's not gonna... We gotta make sure our frame rate in the viewport is smooth, otherwise it's gonna go out of sync. Alright. So whenever it gets like the beat goes, the lights go, which is really cool. And now the question is, do we want to start with this scene, or do we want to start with the flying over the city, then go transfer over to the scene and start at frame like 700? And that's something I can't really answer. It's really as we go, like it's something that I'll have to decide on. It's definitely a hard decision. So let's actually go to this song. So we got song beat number 2. Whoa, that is loud. So this is 2 minutes and 32 seconds. And if I'm going to just do some quick math. So 2 minutes and 32 would be, that is 60, 120, that is, I believe, 150 seconds. And then we're doing 30 frames a second, so 150 times 30. And this is going to be a, is that correct? 4,500 frames? I guess it is. Yeah, so this video is apparently going to be 4,500 frames. And if I divide that by 30, that would be 150 seconds, which is 2 minutes. Oh wait. Okay, I'm actually wrong. Am I wrong? Yeah, I am wrong. It's 100. Oh wait. Yeah, this is 150. Yeah, I'm getting confused. I'm just using a calculator to kind of figure this out. So 4,500 frames divided by 30 frames a second would be 150 seconds. So this would be 150 second animation. So we could make this like 0 to 1,000 frames and then transfer over to the next one. I'm not sure if I want to have this be the first one or the other animation I made. And I kind of have to decide on this because I'm about to create the animation. Let's actually go to my other blend file I have. I have the city one. So if I go to open, and I'm gonna bring this over here to see. So I'm just looking through the files here. I think this is the one, but I'm not positive on that, if this is. Okay, it's going to take a little time to load. That's alright. Now if we have the camera animation in here, that should be all good. So this goes from 0 to 0 to 2450. That is a long animation. So I am thinking that we could do the first one. I'm gonna open up Notepad here because I gotta really figure this out here. So we'll do, this file is called City Song 1, and I'm gonna write this down. So City Song 1, we will do this one. I believe we should do this one next. The city flyover will be done next. And that's 2450 frames long. The first one, Wait, this is city, yeah. So this could be done for, actually, we'll do this one first. This one will come first. And this is going to be called procedural building baked. And baked means I just apply the modifiers. That's just to help me remember things better. And this will be the first scene that we do in the kind of music. It's kind of like a music video, basically. So we're going to call this scene number 1. And this should help with the organization a lot too. Scene number 1 dot render procedural building baked fixed dot blend, and we'll do frames. Let's say I want to do about what, maybe 20 seconds of this, maybe a little longer. Let's do 30. So let's do 900 frames. 900 frames. And the other one, which is over here, this is done at 30 FPS too, will be done after 900 frames. So this is 900 frames, which is equal to, let's just do that math, 900 divided by 30, 30 seconds. And now scene number 2. So this is kind of me just organizing things, because I gotta keep this all organized or I'm gonna get confused. So scene number 2, render city song 1 dot blend, and then in parentheses frame 901 to so that's this one. So 901 to, let's see, when does this end? Let's go to the camera. 2445 to 2445. Actually, that's incorrect. 2445 plus 900. 2445 plus 900. That is 3345. And then if the whole thing is 150 seconds, if the whole thing is 150 seconds, let's see, I gotta figure this out. So 150, and is this might be a little bit long. Gotta decide on this. If it's 150 seconds, divide by 30. I'm sorry. What is it? 2 minutes? No, 1 minute and 30. No, 150 seconds times 30, actually. There we go. And that's 4,500. So we do 4,500 minus 3345. So 4,500 minus 3345. And that gives us 1,155 frames for the last one. So scene number 3. render. I don't even know what the file is actually called. You can always open another instance of Blender and just check which one this is. Open. Gonna see what files I got here. Okay, audio visualizer 12-3. All right. And we're gonna make an animation in there too. So that will be from frame 3346 to 4500. And now I'm going to calculate the number of seconds each one is. So I'm going to save this. Let's call it animation plan. Put it on the desktop. And let's just do a quick calculation to figure out how long each one is. So 900 frames equals 30 seconds. This one is 3345 minus 901. 2444, and then divide that by 30. That equals 81 seconds. It's a little long, but that's alright, I think. And then 4500 divided by 3346. I'm sorry, minus 3346. 1154 divided by 30 equals 38 seconds, which is a fair, I think it's a fair amount of time. Yeah, so let's do 38 seconds. And I can always change this later on. If I want to make this one a little bit longer, the first one, which I might want to do. Because I think the city flyover one is really important. And I'm probably going to put like LED lights in and stuff to make things look really cool, I think, in the second one. But yeah. So let's go back to... Let's actually save this. So we got this plan saved, and I'm just going to minimize that. And I don't need this one right now, so I'm going to exit out. Okay, and this one I need, but I don't need this one. Alright, everything looks pretty good. So yeah, it's very important to have a plan when you go to render these out. Otherwise you might get confused on what you're doing. Especially if you got like over like 5 scenes. Things could start to get very confusing. You could get mixed up. So it's very important to have a good plan. So that's kind of my quick plan I kind of set up. Alright, yeah, let's do the camera animation. So let's go back and look at that file. Remember, this one is render. This one is number 1, so that's going to be 900 frames. So let's get this set up right now and change this from 1 to 900. And our camera is here. Now, I'm going to be rendering this out in cycles, but for just previewing, Eevee is fine. Especially for the speed aspect, which is very important. And before I do anything, let's just take that speaker object and parent that to our camera. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So Control P, set parent to object, and I believe that's the correct way. Yep. Now it follows the camera, and let's just add in a curve. So mesh, Bezier, and we'll just bring that up. Looks like it's over here somewhere. Can't really see it though. It's gonna be made a lot bigger. Where is it? There it is. Okay. A little hard to see, but can kind of see it a little bit. Just a little hard to... It's not like easily visualized. It's just so narrow, but that's alright. So here's the curve. And actually thinking about it, it might be better just to add in a path. So let's go ahead and do that. Path instead of a curve. And then we'll scale this up again. There it is. And RZ90. And there we go. Now let's go ahead and give our camera a constraint. And that would be follow path. And then we're just going to select the path here. And now we should be able to get this working. So where did our speaker go? Is a question I'd like to know. Don't know where our speaker went. Let's turn this up to 200,000. Maybe the 200,000. Maybe the speaker doesn't allow parented objects. I don't know. But like I said, we're gonna add sound in post anyway, so it's not really something I'm too worried about. Oh, look, the speaker looks like it went over there. So something's not set up with this properly, and that's odd. Oh, I added the constraint to the speaker. I didn't mean to do that. I have to add it to the camera itself. Follow path, and let's do that again. Now the camera went all the way over there, so we gotta change these settings and see which one works best. And I found the best is just trial and error, honestly. And where's the beginning of our path? I know this path is pointing in a certain way, but I can't tell. RZ180 maybe, so that the camera's at the beginning. Kind of gonna move it so that it's at the origin, at least as best as I could get it. There we go. Now if we follow curve, offset, doesn't seem to be going. Maybe it's gonna be the Y direction. And it does seem to move, but for some reason it really moved the camera far away. Okay, maybe it's the Y direction. There we go. Maybe that's better. Doesn't seem to be doing anything. So up axis should be Z, I think. And I always have trouble setting these curve modifiers up. I'm not sure what causes these to happen. always a challenge. Let's see, and I could always animate it manually, which is definitely a consideration if I can't get this working right. Which is actually what I think I'm going to do, honestly. So let's actually animate this manually. So we're going to go back in the camera, move it back, and we're just going to have to decide on how to do this. So now one thing I want changed is this floor is not big enough. So let's go ahead and fix that. I'm going to go into outliner, and I'm going to adjust our plane here, and not this one, this one. So I want to make it wider. Let's see if I can figure this out. I'm not really sure if I'm liking that. I'm going to do an array. That's what I'm going to do. And I don't think the seam's going to be too much of a problem. It's a little bit noticeable, but if I actually were to take the plane, let's see what's going on. If I take the plane and just move it kind of like so it overlaps, and let's just bring it so that seam is not right over the building, so you're not kind of drawn to it, because I don't want it to be too noticeable. And I think something like that is okay for now. And maybe we should do an array on the other axis too. So let's go ahead and do that, and we'll go ahead and add it in the Y direction as 1, just like that. That looks great, and now it kind of looks like a floor. That looks much better, I think. Now the question is, do we have enough buildings? And I think we don't. Honestly, I'd like to add in a few more. And I say we actually go ahead and create a new building from scratch. And yeah, let's go ahead and do this. We're not going to create something crazy complex, but we'll do something that definitely adds to the overall scene, which will look nice. So yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and add this in. So I'm going to add in a cube. I'm going to move everything over here. Scale it in the Y direction. And we're going to create a very simple and fast building, but that looks nice. So I'll duplicate that, scale it here. Then we could go ahead here and add a boolean. And let's do fast, and we'll cut into this one. So that should make the inside hollow, or actually even simpler. Instead of doing that, let's actually go ahead and delete that. Let's just add in a solidify modifier. Solidify, where is it? Gotta find it here. I'm not sure where it is. I'll be right back, guys. I got a call I gotta take. What is it?
It's nothing. The EKG thing that they do.
Yeah.
So she's got like a bladder infection, I guess. So it's nothing serious.
Sorry about that, guys. Um, yeah, I just had to take a call, but I'm back. Yeah, so let's get this building modeled. So I'm gonna add in a solidify modifier, and you guys can hear me, right? I think, yeah, it looks like the audio is working. Just want to double check on that because I know my audio's been in and out a few times in the past few videos. So anyway, let's add in the solidify. Let's make it something like this, I think should be good. Even thickness. And maybe complex would be better. Maybe not. That's good. And now I'm going to apply the scale so that it's even. There we go. Let's do that again. And why is this doing that? Let's go on 50, 100, 75 maybe. 75 is good. Cube. So this is a very good, efficient way to model some buildings. And this, we'll just use the boolean again. So I'm going to set that up. So just boolean, fast, then the cube. We'll cut into it. And what we could do is just actually array this cube. Like that. And let's go 3. And bring that to the top. And we'll make the windows a little smaller. A little closer together, I think, would be nice. Let's go like, I don't know, 6, or maybe even more. Bring that to the top. And now we'll also add in another array so that we got it going on the bottom. This will be 0. Array for the bottom will be here, like this. And this is definitely cutting into the building, so that should be working out. And it's cutting the building, it's making windows basically. So let's scale that up. And I don't think we need that last row, so we'll remove it. And we'll go to add in a mirror modifier. And that will mirror it so that we can mirror it across this. And we gotta get that mirrored across the y-axis. Right, I think. Doesn't seem to be working for some reason. Let's try it again. Cube 34. Maybe doing it before the array. Doesn't seem to be doing what I want it to do. Oh, it's doing it over here. But it should be. That is odd. Let's do it over the y-axis, should be right. Maybe I gotta add in an empty. Shift A, empty, plain axis. Move that over and make it like that. Scale it up. And then I'll just mirror this over the empty. And that works out how I want it to. And I could just move that back and forth. And this should be cutting into here. And now let's just add in the box, the bounds. And look at that. We already got a building almost. But you're seeing that we have some problems. So let's just make this cube a little bit wider. And there's still some issues with it, so we gotta just fix this. Maybe add some more subdivisions to this. I'm sorry. Loop cuts. Actually, why aren't the loop cuts even showing up? That is really odd. Not sure what's going on with that. Maybe it's because of the solidify? Yeah, it is. So the loop cuts are working, but they're just not showing up. So I'll add another loop cut this way. And now everything seems to be working how it needs to, which is great. Let's go ahead and do this again. Instead of mirroring it, we could just duplicate RZ. Should I do it like that, or RZ? Oh, so Evil Twin of Philbox says add origin to geometry. Yeah. I see. Add set origin to geometry, and then I could delete this empty, and then try this again. You're right. Exactly. I missed that. Yeah, that helped. So I think that I gotta scale this down a little bit and move this over because it's hitting the walls. And I think I'm going to bring down the solidify amount. It seems a little bit too thick. Let's go on like 50, maybe even 25. Should be fine. I like it a little, I like 40, I think is better. I just gotta make sure these windows don't have any problems. Maybe if I turn the Boolean mode to exact, it'll be better. But of course then it slows down the computer, but I'm gonna be applying it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. It's really slow though now. Really slow. That's alright though. Okay, I'm gonna move this down. And I'm going to actually do that again. Shift D, RZ. Let's actually apply some of these modifiers for the duplicated copy. And I'm going to go back to add set origin to geometry, RZ90, then go ahead and add in another Boolean modifier. And set that one to be this one. And I should have set that one to fast, but it might have issues. Yeah, and it does. So I could either just move things around a little bit, or I could have set it to exact. Let's see if moving it around fixes it. There's that one window that has a problem. Yeah, and that fixed it. And I think everything's working. Looks good. Let's go ahead and apply all of this. And now we can add in a bevel just to make things look a little nicer. Apply the scale, add an angle. 3 segments should be good. Set this to be arc. No clamp overlap. 0.002. Whoa, what is going on here? Okay, so that's not working how I wanted it to. Oh, it was too small. That's weird. Alright, that's definitely a bug, but if I turn it up, it seems to fix itself. Let's go to a setting that looks okay. Maybe something like that. Just to add a little bit of a bevel to it to make things look a little better. Maybe not so much. Very subtle. Something like that is pretty good. If we shade it smooth, we add a weighted normal. Set that to be auto smooth. Should fix the shading. And let's see what the poly count is, just to make sure we're not going too crazy here. So if I disable that, and it only adds about 50,000 polys, that's not too bad. Alright, so we're going to add some more to this now. We got to add in the mirrors. I'm sorry, not the mirrors, the glass. So let's go ahead and fix this here. So let's see, what was I gonna do? Go ahead and hide the statistics, we don't need that. And I'm gonna add in a cube. I'm gonna do this very simply. Just scale this up a lot, like that. Bring it to our object, go to 7 to get to top view, scale this down to be something like this. And now all I need to do actually is just scale it so that it's just slightly smaller than the building itself. Just a little bit smaller. Something like this should be good, I think, as long as it's inside. Then scale it on the z-axis. That looks great. Now we got windows, but we also have to remember that we gotta go back, delete both the top and the bottom from this. Top and the bottom's gotta go. Delete the faces. Let's just move that up, and we can see how thick we want to make it. So we could make it something like this. Something like that, I think, for the windows is good. Is a good width. And we're getting some glitches, so let's just shrink it down a little bit to be more inside. Yeah. So that's going to be the glass. Let's just set the material up. Scratch glass. And then the building will be the, let's see, what did we apply for this one? Metal, so that's metal. Nothing other than metal. So metal. And we are going to make a quick top for this building. And this one's going to be pretty simple, so let's go ahead and add in a cube. Scale it way up. Make it something like that, I think, would be nice. We could do maybe something like this. Something like that. Nothing over complex. And again, can apply a bevel to this if we want. Let's just do something like this. Should be good. Set it to 3. Arc. Weighted normal. There we go. And yeah, that's building. Oh, and we're missing one thing. Let's add in another cube. And this will be our lights. So this has to be adjusted. So let's go to 7. And again, we'll just scale that to kind of fit the inside. Something like that should be pretty good. And like that. A little bit bigger. I think that's good. We have to apply the scale. And this one will be called building lights, and let's take a look at this. Okay, so for some reason that texture is coming out really small. So let's go ahead and actually take this texture and duplicate it. So we are going to go to the shader editor. And make this its own, and we're going to take down the size of this to like 0.2, and we kind of see you're getting like a city light looking kind of texture. Bring it down maybe even more, 0.1, and from far away that looks pretty good. Let's see cycles. That doesn't look bad. Oh, and this one needs to be metal. Looks pretty good. And what we could do now is actually bring in a ton of these city buildings, so like just go crazy. So I'm going to save this, and we could just duplicate this many times. So go like this, and we could just place these and change up the size of each one. So like something like this. And then you could like make variations by removing the top of that one. And this is how you get variations. Let's go ahead and take one of our other city buildings. So like that, and still need the glass. I think I have some duplicates there. I'll have to get that fixed. But I'm gonna just bring that over. And we could just add this in maybe to over here. Rotate it. And I don't need both textures there, so I'm going to just look at this and make sure it looks okay. And you see we got a duplicate. This one has to be metal. And for some reason, can't seem to see inside. Oh, I can see, but it's just a little difficult. Alright, that's no big deal. So yeah, this looks pretty nice. Now, I'm going to change the top just to make it look like it's something different. Let's go ahead and actually just delete this. Same thing here, we don't need the top part of this. This is just creating variations really quickly. And gonna fill that in. Now we have a variation. There we go. So let's bring in all these buildings, but before that, let's just rotate this. And I'm thinking something like with this in the background would look nice. And then not only do we have to do that, we could just actually take these, duplicate them a whole nother time, move them this way, move this over here, move that like that. And we're going to kind of make it look like these are connected. So it's kind of like a large couple of office buildings that are next to each other. Just like that. I'll have that one in the front. Actually, maybe, yeah, maybe I will. Kind of doesn't make sense. I think I'll have it over here. This looks too repetitive, so this is going to be moved. That will be moved over here. Okay, so I'm going to take this whole asset here. And move it. Scale everything down. And look at what else we're getting in here. So I'd like to add these in like this and have them a little bit smaller. And I think this is actually probably enough to add in. I think this looks pretty nice. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. It looks like a unique buildings, which I like. Alright, so let's go to our camera and start animating it. Alright, so RZ. Gonna go from the back like this. All right. All right. Let me make sure my sound is working just one more time. Working just one more time. Not sure if that my sound is on. Working just one more time. Okay, it looks good. Not sure if that my sound is on. Working just one more time. Camera view. Okay, it looks good. Not sure if my sound is on. Working just one more time. Camera view. Okay, it looks good. Not sure if my sound is maybe on. Bring up this focal distance to 28. Okay, it looks good. So that's not a super disconnect. Just maybe bring up this focal distance to 28. Okay, it looks good. Now I'm going to just practice. So that's not a super disconnect. Maybe bring up this focal distance to 28. Okay, it looks good. Now I'm going to just practice. So that's not a super disconnect. Maybe bring up this focal distance to 28. Okay, it looks good. Now I'm going to just practice. So that's not a super disconnect. Maybe bring up this focal distance to 28. Okay, it looks good. Now I'm going to just practice. Alright, my navigation is better. This focal distance to 28. Now I'm going to practice. Alright, my navigation is better. This focal distance to 28. Now I'm going to practice. Alright, my navigation is better. This focal distance to 28. Now I'm going to practice. Alright, my navigation is better.
Focal distance like 20 mms. Now adjust maybe synthesize. Alright, so I navigate focal distance like 20 mms. Now adjust maybe synthesize. Alright, so I navigate focal distance like 20 mms. Now adjust maybe synthesize. Alright, so I navigate focal distance like 20 mms. Now adjust maybe synthesize. Alright, so I navigate focal distance like 20 mms. Now adjust maybe synthesize. Alright, so I navigate focal distance like 20 mms. Now adjust maybe synthesize. Alright, so I navigate focal distance like 20 mms. Now adjust maybe synthesize. Alright, so I navigate focal distance like 20 mms. Now adjust maybe synthesize. Alright, so I navigate focal distance like 20 mms. Now adjust maybe synthesize. Alright, so I navigate focal distance like 20 mms. Now adjust maybe synthesize. Alright, so I navigate focal distance like 20 mms. Now adjust maybe synthesize. Alright, so I navigate focal distance like 20 mms. Now adjust maybe synthesize. Alright, so I navigate focal distance like 20 mms. Now adjust maybe synthesize. Alright, so I navigate focal distance like 20 mms. Now adjust maybe synthesize. Alright, so I navigate focal distance like 20 mms. Now adjust maybe synthesize. Alright, so I navigate focal distance like 20 mms. Now adjust maybe synthesize. Alright, so I navigate focal distance like 20 mms. Now adjust maybe synthesize. Alright, so I navigate focal distance like 20 mms. Now adjust maybe synthesize. Alright, so I navigate focal distance like 20 mms. Now adjust maybe synthesize. Alright, so I navigate focal distance like 20 mms. Now adjust maybe synthesize. Alright, so I navigate focal distance like 20 mms. Now adjust maybe synthesize. Alright, so I navigate focal distance like 20 mms. Now adjust maybe synthesize. Alright, so I navigate focal distance like 20 mms. Now adjust maybe synthesize. Alright, so I navigate focal distance like 20 mms. Now adjust maybe synthesize. Alright, so I navigate focal distance like 20 mms. Now adjust maybe synthesize. Alright, so I navigate focal distance like 20 mms. Now adjust maybe synthesize. Alright, so I navigate focal distance like 20 mms. Now adjust maybe synthesize. Alright, so I navigate focal distance like 20 mms. Now adjust maybe synthesize. Alright, so I navigate focal distance like 20 mms. Now adjust maybe synthesize. Alright, so I navigate focal distance like 20 mms. Now adjust maybe synthesize. Alright, so I navigate focal distance like 20 mms. Now I'm sorry, my microphone was echoing, so I just I fixed that. Yeah, so let's go ahead and we got, where is it? Navigation, walk navigation, sounds good. Let's play this. Quickly go to walk. Let's go. Wow.
Then we'll have it kind of end, and we'll kind of get away from it. There we go. All right. Oh, did that even record? No, it didn't. Oh, I had to turn on automatic keyframing. Ah, that's a shame. All right, let's do that over. Try that again. Walk navigation. Play it. View. Navigation. Walk. Slow it down. Slow it down. There we go. Just make sure everything is nice and smooth. Kind of just gonna do an orbit around the city. Fly through one more time. Speed it up. Whoa. Awesome. Okay. Now this could be stretched out. S1.3. Let's bring that ahead and bring that to 0. And now we are going to go to the keyframe editor. Graph editor, I'm sorry. And we'll have to drag that to the side. Keep doing that until we can see our graph reasonably well. There it goes. So this looks very jittery, and if we play it, it will be horribly stuttery. As you can see, it just doesn't look good. So what we have to do is actually smooth this out. So first of all, let's add in sample keyframes, and that'll just fill in the gaps. And that'll help just a little bit. But to really get this to be smooth, we have to go in and we have to make sure that we smooth these keys. So let's do Alt-O, and right away that smooths it out a good amount. So let's go ahead and take a look, and it's better. But we could do that a few times. So Alt-O, press it a couple times until things look better. And that looks pretty good. And I like to have a little bit of camera shake. Kind of makes things look more like a real camera. And this looks interesting. I think I'm going to leave it like that. I'm actually really happy with that. So then we go through. Whoa! Awesome. Turn around. I'm still getting the feeling that it's a little too fast, so we could just go ahead and select this, S1.5. Or no, maybe S1.2. Maybe not even. Maybe just S1.1. S1.1. Sync it up so that the first frame is at the frame 0. And we just want to kind of be panning away at the very end. So let's just go ahead and make sure this looks good. I still feel like this is a little too chaotic, so let's go ahead and smooth this out even further. So Alt-O a few more times. There we go. Play it again. That's a lot better. Going through it. Awesome. And then it ends right here. So we'll have that end right here. That's okay. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. So let's see, is there anything else we could fix here? Now I noticed we're getting some artifacts here. As far as what might be causing this, I'm not sure. Looks like there's multiple faces, so I gotta fix that. Let's see what's going on. So right there, it's where it's causing a problem. And there is multiple faces here. That's definitely an issue. Let's go ahead and look at the modifier. And this looks okay. May have to figure this out off stream, but I'm going to try to see what it is now. Maybe it's this, and maybe this is duplicated or something. Doesn't seem like it. Delete it. Nope. Delete this. So this is going to here. I can't figure out what's causing this. Did any of these? Nope. This one? Nope. Okay, it's this one. That's what's doing it, at least. Not this one.
This one. Okay, so this is probably where our problem is. Let's see what's going on. So it looks like some of these are duplicated. Let's go to the problem ones. So it seems like this one, for example, is doing that. And yeah, I kind of could see it. Right there, there is a cube that is going over a second one, so let's see why this would happen. I'm thinking it's something to do with the array. But I'm not sure. Interesting. So it's doing it at the corners. That makes sense. So it looks like that I have to increase this distance. There we go. So now let's decrease the count. And I think I'm getting it fixed. Alright, let's go to 10. And maybe 11. Problem is that some of them now become problematic here. You probably won't notice it, but let's see, can we scale this up? Yes, we can. And look at that now, the problem seems to be fixed. It intersects a little bit here, but you'll never even notice it. All the others are fine. So yeah, that was the problem. So we got that fixed. All right. Now, thing that I've been thinking of, this floor here is not looking like it's bouncing up enough. I'd like to kind of make that more animated. So let's go ahead and make these strength. What does this one do? This one is for the side. So open driver editor. And now I could just bring up the strength of this value. Just something like 1 point. So it's 0.3. Let's bring it all the way to 1. Play that again. Much stronger. Maybe not exactly what I wanted though. Let's put that back to 0.3. And the second one we could try changing. Let's go to 1. Definitely not that one. That one I'm actually going to bring down, I think, to 0.05. Okay, and the first one I will bring up to something like 0.6. And I want this changing over time, so
Where is empty 005? Empty 005. Here it is. And that empty has to be sped up a lot more. Yeah, so that has to be sped up. Let's move that there. Let's move that all the way up here and turn off automatic keyframing and see how it looks now. Better. Alright. The strength of this one can go way up. Now it seems we can't edit it. Not sure why that's happening. So it's not letting me change the driver now. Is it doing that for this one? Yeah, it is. This actually has to come up a little bit. That's better. That's good. I mean, maybe that's okay. I think that's actually alright, because the music will be mostly the lighting, not so much the movement. It's gonna load in our materials. Yeah, that's actually really nice. And let's go to our camera. Wow, this is awesome. Alright, let's go to... Yeah, I'm happy with this. I don't think I have to change anything about this. And you could see that both the lighting and on the buildings and on the ground is reacting with the music perfectly. Then as we fly through, that just looks great. This really, I think this is okay. Let's see. I'd like to do a few test renders to make sure I'm happy with everything. And I'm thinking about bringing up the lighting quality on the buildings, like make it brighter. Because I think it's just not bright enough. I'm not sure about this. So then we fly through again. Wow, awesome. And then we kind of look again, and then we start to move backwards, and then we transfer over to the next scene, which is the flyover of the large city. Um, yeah, so let's just take a look in cycles at how this looks. And it looks completely different, so you always gotta know how it's gonna look in other renders. And let's just do a render of something like, let's see, where are the lights really bright? Like this. And I would just want to make sure the background is not over the top in the compositing. So I'm just going to do a quick render. Let's set the samples to be like 10. Render the image. I'm afraid the glare is going to be just over the top, which very well could be the case. So if I go to viewer node, yeah, it is. So that's got to be fixed. Now we can keyframe this, which I think is what I'm gonna do. Because we don't want the blur, we don't want everything to be just completely like washed out. So let's go ahead and look at this frame. Or we could do this more simple. We could also set it so that the in the animation that we don't have the what's it called, the background, the world. We don't have the world get affected by the glare, basically. So let's go to compositing, and let's just, this is a little complex, so I gotta kind of remember how I set this up. So I subtracted my environment paths, and then I did this, did that, did all this stuff. Let's see, what does this give us? You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and actually render one out like this, where the environment is visible. Render this out. And that looks nice. Go to compositing. And temporarily disable the denoise just to speed things up. Go to the end. So there's a little bit too much glare going on, I think. So the glare, sunbeams. Oh, so we're not adding it with the background. All right. And then this one, Everything actually might be alright. Okay. Because I don't want to add in the background. Yeah. This might be okay. Is this one okay? Yeah, that one also didn't brighten it up. Alright, so this might be alright. And honestly, it doesn't look over brightened. Maybe the blur's a little bit too much. Maybe that's what's bothering me. What if I just go ahead and remove that blur? We could always keyframe this, but I think that I'm going to actually leave it. So let's just bring that blur to 0. See how it changes. And yeah, that actually looks really good, I think. And especially if we have that denoised. Because I want to make sure this looks decent, at least before the rendering starts, so that it doesn't take too much time. That looks good. Let's render another frame. Let's go to the very end. We're kind of moving back. And now we got the floor. A lot of glare from the floor. Let's pick a very bright frame. Could go and frame like, let's go to oh, I saw a good one. Let's go on. Let's do this one. I think that's good. Render this out. It's compositing. That actually, it's a little bright, but that's because the sun's reflecting off the sides. I actually think it looks okay. So I think I'm actually going to leave it. It's not too much over the top. Obviously, what I'm going to do, actually, to make it not so intense, I'm just going to kind of, it's this one that's making things a little bit too bright. Let's just bring that down a little bit so that the lighting is not super harsh. Let's go down something like this. That's a little bit better. And maybe this doesn't have to be so high. And we can also even this out a little bit more. This could be both brought up. Yeah, something like that. It's not too much over the top either. Little bit bright, but it should work. Now, as far as the background, so I added in let's see, I got the environment subtracted. It seems like I added in. Let's see, so that controls the environment, how much I add in. Now if I change this around, does it allow me to change things? Let's see. That'll just make this black. At least it should have. I'm getting confused now. Alright, so that's not there. Something seems wrong with this setup. Let's disable the denoise. So we got this, the background. Okay, so we got this subtract the background, and add it back in. There we go. But the part I'm trying to figure out is why did I subtract it a second time? Oh, I'm seeing what's going on. Alright. So this one, I should just add this one in to all of these. This makes sense. This one should replace this one. It's gotta go here. That's gotta go here. This is gotta go here. This should go here. And then I can add it back in after all of these go through. So yeah, we don't need that. So now if we go here, it's gonna look odd, and there won't be any world. Oh, there is. Interesting. So this is definitely set up wrong. Something here is not right. So I subtracted it from here. This could go. We don't need this, I don't think. Oh, okay. So this is... add it in, so then this goes to here. Okay, I think this is actually correct. So we got this adding back into here, but not adding here. Alright, this makes sense. So now we got effect 1, effect number 2, which could be turned down to like 0.15. It's a little excessive. Same thing here. Effect number 3, let's bring that down to 0.25 just to make it not overwhelming. And let's bring this one here. This one down to 0.3, again to make it not too much. And yes, that is looking much better. Then we got it going through here. And everything kind of finishes up. Nice. Now do I really want to weaken it that much? let's see, now I'm not noticing much of the effect. Maybe I should bring that back up. Let's undo that. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that again and see how it looks now. Yeah, I think I like all the glare. It looks nice. Let's just get rid of the denoise. I mean, turn on the denoise. And yeah, that actually looks really good. Glare is not too excessive. Let's go and do a frame, like maybe one of these frames, where we're kind of like over here. But not looking outside. But I want to get one where it's nice and bright too. Let's do this. This one's good. Render that out. Compositing. Awesome. That looks great. Let's see. Kind of looks like fog, which looks nice. Maybe I could adjust this a little bit more. Let's see, so we got this here. We got this one. Why is that so blurry? Interesting. Oh, so that's going top to bottom. I feel like we could add more of the first one in. And then maybe this one could come down a little bit to like 3.3. Alright, that looks perfect. That's how we're gonna keep it. Oh, and one more thing. Let's brighten up the windows. So let's go ahead and get to the whoa, what's going on with our view? Something is wrong with the clipping distance. Oh, that was weird. Let's, oh, do we even have, oh, we do, okay. Yeah. So Eevee, and this needs to be changed. So, gonna go into the materials again. Shader, and bring up the building brightness. building lights, I should call it. A mission, what do we do here? I need that to be a lot brighter. But I need to keep the same amount. Would I just add a mix RGB and then multiply? I think. Multiply by 2. 2. Yeah. Let's do 10. Let's go crazy. And let's do it with this one too. Let's select the shader and building lights. Alright. Again, mix RGB and set this to 1. Multiply, set this to 10. Boom, and that should be great. Let's go into the camera. Do a test render. That is much brighter. Maybe it could even be brighter than that, I'm not sure. Compositing. Yeah, it's got to be brighter, honestly. Let's set that to all the way up. Did I even bring that up? Oh, yeah, I did. Let's go to like 50. Now we're getting somewhere. And let's go to the other one. So it's a lot of trial and error doing this. And I'm just gonna bring that up. Let's bring that to 50. And now we could try rendering that. Might be a little too intense, we'll see. Here it goes. Doesn't look too bad. Render. Okay, now it's too bright. It's too bright now. I went too far. Let's do only like 20. So yeah, this has to be set up really well. Otherwise, you gotta get this to look well, just so that the glare doesn't go too intense. So this definitely is a challenge, but kind of just iterate and go back and forth. Render and see if I'm happy with it, and if it looks too strong, I just do it over and revise it, and then keep doing this a few times until I get something that I'm happy with. And I think this actually looks pretty nice. Let's see how it looks. Yes, I'm actually thinking that actually looks pretty good. Now, I think I'm going to bring it down to 15 and do another render. I'm going to go down to 15 and leave it at that. So for the second one, which is this one, building lights, I'm going to bring that down to 15 too. And one more render, and then we're going to call it for this project. So let's go ahead and go when we're kind of panning through. So we're kind of flying. Let's do the first fly through, which should be this one. Perfect, right there. And let's just make sure nothing is too out of balance or anything. Like there's not too much light. That everything just looks okay. Because I don't want to go over the top with the effects or things just look too crazy, basically. So yeah, let's let that render. And then it's compositing. Perfect. Just perfect. Alright, so nothing is over the top. I'm actually really happy with this as an image. Let's actually... Yeah, I'm going to leave everything how it is. I'm very happy with it. I could actually do a really high-res render. Let's do a render at 128 samples and just let this render. And yeah, I'm really liking how this is looking. And I think I'm going to keep it with the blue. I didn't like the orange so much. But yeah, I'd be interested to see what you guys say in the comments about the colors on this. But yeah, I think this is about ready to render. Almost ready to render this one out. I'm probably going to send this to a render farm to get this one done quickly. And on my next video, we're going to start on the next scene. And then we have one more scene after that, and then this project is ready to be integrated into the music video. Or a music visualizer, since it's going to be visualizing the music. So do you guys have any questions? Okay. Oh, and this will have vector blur added in. And I gotta not forget that for the motion blur. Otherwise it won't look as nice. So that's very important for me to keep in mind. And to be honest, these don't look like the most realistic windows, but once you add in all the compositing, and once you add in the motion blur, so when you're moving, you won't even notice that these are not really rooms. I think it actually looks pretty convincing once you add in this compositing, and it looks really nice. And it's going to be very interesting to see how this comes out. I'm pretty excited by it. Yes, so I'd be interested to see what you guys have in the comments and suggestions. Going to be creating a lot more content. Again, once these projects are complete, they will be uploaded to my Patreon, and any subscribers can use these blend files. Feel free to use them in any of your projects, any of the assets you can use. And yeah, so Patreon links are in this description. And I got a few more links there for my like my Instagram account and some other accounts. And yeah, I hope this video helps. I enjoy doing this and hope to create more content for you guys. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys soon, and yeah, thank you. I'll try to be back on tomorrow. We'll see. Thank you guys for watching.